Hello, 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 all, and welcome to Happy, Healthy, Whole with Sharea. I am Sharea, and I hope you have already liked and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, we are on 4 week series. This is closing out our series around self-love. If you haven't already, go back and check our other three videos. Excuse me, those three videos were on radical self-love, challenging negative thoughts, and setting self-care and setting boundaries, which on this channel, if you haven't already, you know those are important, but also understanding them from the perspective of not losing people is important. This week, we're going to talk about manifesting confidence and stepping into your power. So I'm going to close with really getting us out there to be our best selves. All right. So it is time to take our power back, is what we've heard a lot. When people say that, we're like, yes, this sounds so cool. I want to do that. And then we're like, wait, what? How do that? No more dimming our lights is the first thing. No more dimming our lights and looking at what's wrong with us. Self-confidence or confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing your worth and walking in it. And so that's what we're going to try to think about when we're talking about what is confidence. So what confidence really means. Confidence is built in, well, let me say this. Confidence is built, not born. So you don't just wake up and like, oh, I'm born confident. Sometimes you come from experiences that are not so good, that make you less confident, don't believe in yourself. But confidence says to you, I got this. You got this, right? So confidence has to be built for you to do that, right? And so trusting yourself, even when you don't have all the answers, is a way to build confidence. I am so thirsty, sorry. Owning your own story without shame. You've been through things, had experiences, both good and bad. And a lot of that is going to be difficult for people to understand, to relate to, know exactly how it's built you and created this person or this woman that you are. What it's going to do in terms of owning your story is allow you to release the guilt, the shame, and to have access to another level of confidence. Walking into your rooms or walking into a room like you own it in a way that's real. Walking into rooms like you belong there, and because, well, honestly, because you do. Like, honestly, if I really just said the truth, you're walking into those rooms and your confidence has to feel like you belong there, not just because they don't believe that, but because you belong there and that's the truth. So, trusting yourself even when you don't have the answer, owning your story without shame, walking into the rooms like you belong there because you do, are always that build confidence, but also are the forms of confidence that make us our best self. And so I want you to think about those three things as you walk into rooms or in spaces, as you look at your story and how it has shaped you. Have you been trusting yourself, your decisions, and what you believe? If that's not the case, there's areas for you to work on. If you want a video on any of those three areas, please let me know, because they can all be individual videos without just this one area. But now let's think about practicing ways to build confidence. I'm going to give you three. And if you'd like, I'd love to hear in the comments an additional one that you like. So, or ways that you build your confidence if you have. Power pose. When you think about this, I want you to really, really dig deep. Power pose means big moments. Before every single big moment in your life, I want you to stand tall, shoulders back, deep breath, and own that space. Go in there as if no one has ever seen what they are getting ready to see. You are that. I don't curse, so you are that. And I want you to believe it, right? So own that space. Put your feet on the ground, take that deep breath, and walk in there with the confidence of, I am that chick, right? Understanding that. Speak with authority. Stop thinking and talking like this. Stop saying I think and start saying I know. Things that are yours that you've worked hard to be knowledgeable about, to be informed about, speak it with truth. One thing I don't do any longer is question or stumble over things around loving Black women, around loving Black people, around any of that. If you have a problem with it, that's not on me, that's on you. But what I will not do is lower my voice of love, because it also lowers my voice of loving myself, right? And so speak it out loud. I know that people have had histories of mistreating us, thinking that we're not good enough, but I am more than enough. I am able to own this space. I belong in this space. I am this space. And if it wasn't for anything that came out of my ancestral goodness, you wouldn't probably even have this space, right? So own it with your, put your back in it, right? Go free and be able to speak with authority, because that's going to help you own those stories. And even in those mistakes, you still get a right to own your story. Excuse me. And then the last thing, do something that scares you. A way to build confidence is to get out of your comfort zone. There's going to be no other way to do that than to just push yourself forward. Growth happens even more when you're not in your comfort zone, when you don't know if I can do this public speaking event, and when you don't know if I'm going to be the one of the people selected at a job interview or something that you wanted to do all your time. When you don't know, I remember, I am not a dancer, or excuse me, I am a dancer. I remember when I was during the pandemic, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just, take the Zumba class. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna be a Zumba teacher. And then so I actually took my scared self, who hates to be, I know y'all don't believe this, but I'm an introvert in a lot of ways. Who I took my little scary self around doing any kind of a dance in front of people, even though I dance all the time in front of people. It's just not like a dance teacher. And said to myself, nope, I'm gonna do it. It was one of the best experiences, just being able to do it. I need to get back into it. So maybe to do that again. Anyway, I don't do it often, but what I did was I pushed myself out of the comfort zone of thinking that somehow or some way I wasn't going to be good enough to do the dance teaching, to dance in front of others. I did it because I was scared, and it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I learned so much about myself in that time. And so do something that scares you and do it with confidence. Remember, you are already enough as you are. As we close out this self love series, I hope you're telling yourself something different. I hope you're believing something different. I'm hoping that you're practicing some tips from the self love mirror or from the mirror talk we talked about, to the reframing the negative thoughts. I hope you're using at least one of the tools to start practicing towards your actual self love. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. But I'd love for you to drop in the comments a fire if you have already started to own your confidence. I want to see our sisters so that we can also model it for our other sisters who are already owning it. And I hope everybody takes good care of yourselves. Please be well.